I grew up in Atlanta, and I grew up with Outkast, Goody Mob, the Dungeon Family, and everybody I went to school with that I was friends with were creatives, which in Atlanta wasn't really a cool thing back in the day. So growing up with those guys and just, seeing their method and like their strategies and the way they were approaching art and taking it dead serious influenced me in the direction I went into as far as doing graffiti. So hopefully in a second here we'll see. I can show you a little bit about what I'm talking about. The guy who started Outkast and Dungeon Family, who made that whole sound, his name's Ray Murray. He's 1/3 of Organized Noise, a production team here, which made the Atlanta sound. He was a graffiti writer that wrote Raz, and when I first noticed graffiti, it was his. So that was the spark. The circle of Dungeon Family, we never looked at it as like, okay, you guys do music and you guys are the artists. We just looked at it as kind of like Southern hip hop. We didn't even really know about the elements of hip hop, but to later find out, that these are the 4 elements of hip hop, being DJing, breakdancing, graffiti, and MCing. And we just looked at it as one big creative movement. While those guys were in the studio making music, I was painting trains behind the studio. Sometimes those guys would watch out for me. We started just applying, traditional like graffiti that as known as it is today. We started applying it to freight trains because they go all over North America, Canada, Mexico. Being in the South and not being seen as much, that was a good way for us to let the world know that we were here, and it worked way better than we could ever imagine. We were in Philadelphia, it was snowing, like on tour with Outkast. There was trains at our hotel, and I was like, man, I knew I should have bought some more paint. And Andre 3000 was like, oh, I just happened to have some paint on my bus. And like they all watched out for me, and we painted trains before we went into our hotel with the tour buses sitting outside. I embrace my graffiti history. You can see my graffiti in all my art. It's pretty much just a bunch of graffiti style, because graffiti, isn't on canvas, it's on trains and buildings. But if it was to be on canvas, there it is. I have a lot of murals here, like all over Ponce de Leon, East Atlanta Village, all the way up to Buckhead. My Atlanta is creativity.